So hello out there. I realize that I am pretty late making a video. I was supposed to post one every Monday. I missed last week completely, and I didn't post this Monday yet. So there's a lot of reasons for all of that, and I'm going to get into it. This is going to be a little bit of a long one, dealing with a lot of stuff tonight. For those of you who follow me or who like to watch these videos simply for the weight loss stuff, I'll get that right out of the way. So as of this Monday, my last weigh-in, I am down 11.4 pounds. That's after losing 3.6 between last week and this week, which, in case you're doing the math, means yes, I had a weight gain last Monday of 2.8, which was, it made me feel terrible. It made me reevaluate everything that I had just reevaluated. It made me rethink my tactics. The week that I gained the weight, I had actually eaten fewer points, but I had been eating more bulk in the form of 0-point foods, and I think that I went overboard, particularly since a lot of 0-point foods actually do have a lot of sugar, and although I'm not diabetic, I am technically pre-diabetic, which means my body does not process sugar very well. I think that was a part of the problem. I did feel very lethargic. So it was a lot to take in all at once, and of course some of these are lessons that I learned a long time ago and had just forgotten, and some of these are things that are brand new because I'm now doing them as a 40-something-year-old woman, and bodies change, so the other reason I haven't been making videos, so yeah, that's the weight loss update. I haven't done the math recently, but I think I'm still okay to lose my 10% by my birthday. My birthday, by the way, is November 29th, so I have until the end of November to do it. But I'll do the math, and next week I'll have that information. So the other thing that's going on in my life is that I, like so many American parents, am now faced with the issue of having to educate my child in my living room while I also attempt to work a full-time job that was, frankly, more than 40 hours a week already. And I'm having trouble finding time to take care of the things that I need to take care of for myself. And I'd rather make sure that I'm tracking and exercising than worry about making a video. And it wasn't until today that I said, hey, why not turn on the video while I'm walking? So that's what I'm doing right now, walking around my neighborhood. I know I said in a previous video that I don't like to do this, and I don't, but I feel like I'm kind of out of options, and I also feel like if I have to spend the next half hour inside my house, someone's going to get hurt, because today has been a challenging day, and my husband, God bless him, and he's such a good person, and I love him so much, and he's probably going to watch this, but he had a really rough day today too, and just the two of us together, we just weren't able to lift each other up tonight. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get some exercise in, I'm going to get some blood flowing, and I'm going to be in a better place, and maybe I can be a better support for him when I get back. But dealing with homeschool, which is not true homeschool, and this is something that's really important to me because I have friends who truly do homeschool their kids, and what they do is way more intense than what I'm doing. And there's a reason that most people who legit homeschool their children cannot work normal, full-time, Monday through Friday jobs. There's a reason. Because I still have the benefit of teachers. My daughter has like her kindergarten teacher, and I think there are 2 assistant teachers to the class. And then she's got all of these special teachers. She has a physical education teacher, a computer skills teacher, a music teacher, an art teacher. They have a counselor available to them, and they have a librarian. So she's got like a ton of people online helping her. And my job is just to make sure that her 5-year-old brain and body are sticking with it. She is, as are most children her age, very easily distracted. I cannot have a call, even with the door closed. I can't have a call with my team or my clients while she's online. I also can't have a call when she's on a break, because if she hears me talking, she comes in. So I'm in this horrible position where I'm trying to like cram in phone calls in 1 hour from like 5 to 6 after my husband has gotten home and before we actually have dinner. But when I do that, then it's a problem, because if I haven't had a chance earlier in the day to make dinner, then it's 6 o'clock and we're not sitting down to eat. I'm just making it. Or we go to a backup plan, which involves pulling leftovers out of the fridge and just eating that, which sometimes works. Tonight it worked okay. But sometimes when you do that, you end up with, honestly, leftovers that are like trash and not good for you, and leftover from a binge day, and you really should have thrown them out or something, or not ordered it to begin with. So that whole scenario, like, I think the teachers are doing an amazing job, and I am so happy with them. And just fucking COVID just fucking sucks. And yes, by the way, I curse a lot on this channel, and if you are a young person listening to me, you probably should not do that. I know a handful of you started following me because my nephew Ben is such a great person and he wanted to support me. But I should probably warn you, and you should probably tell your parents, and maybe even unfollow me, because I do curse a lot. And especially if I'm going to start doing videos like this, where I'm not really even thinking about it, I'm just walking and talking, I will, probably curse a lot more. So back to COVID and how much it sucks. If you're wondering where my mask is, that's a very good question. I should be wearing a mask right now. I absolutely should. I really needed to leave the house, and I did so quickly. And because I so rarely leave the house, it just didn't occur to me to grab my mask. So, since I became conscious of the fact that I don't have one on my face, I've been taking care to choose paths where I'm not seeing a lot of people, and to make sure that if I do walk past somebody or come close to somebody, that I keep reasonable distance. Like right now, there's a lovely person bicycling, so I'm going to let him pass before I keep walking. And this is still not ideal. I want to remind everybody that there is still debate about how this thing is passed. I want to remind everybody that aerosolized particles, which means very fine air particles, could be carrying this. And we don't know how long they can survive or stay on the air. So this is still a dangerous thing to do. and something that you shouldn't emulate. Okay, so now you ready for the real reason that I was losing it today? I mean, like all the other stuff is just stuff, right? It's just, yes, getting my kid an education is harder than it probably should be, but she's a bright kid, she's doing well, her teachers are terrific with her, and I'm happy that I get to spend a little more time with her. It's really tough to work the way I want to work, to that level of commitment and dedication to my company and to my entire team, because part of my job is to take care of the people who work with me. So, and since everybody is going through COVID together, pretty much everybody has a lot of stuff that they're working through right now. So, yeah, that's hard, but that's also my job, and I like doing my job, and I like taking care of people. But if I'm really honest, the reason that I absolutely had to get out of my house and had to start walking has to do with this shirt that I put on today. And the news coming out of Kentucky about the absolute and total injustice. For the record, for me, the judicial system isn't about punishment, it's about justice. And I know that when you are a family member or a friend of somebody whose life is lost in such a cruel and reckless and thoughtless manner as Breonna Taylor's was lost, you don't want to hear people talk about justice versus responding emotionally or justice versus punishment. But my point is, justice was not done. And I'm not saying that because I think the punishment isn't enough. I am saying that because a minimum of 3 people, and I think more, were responsible for that woman's death. And one person was found guilty, not because she died, not because she was hit, but because he didn't look before he fired a gun and could have endangered the next door neighbors who were quote unquote not a part of the search warrant. I don't know why I quote unquote that. They weren't a part of the search warrant. So it was wanton disregard. Had nothing to do with Breonna. Poor Breonna. Her poor family, her horrible final moments, screaming for help, dying in her home. This was a paramedic. This was somebody who was helping to save lives every day. And we lost her, and the people responsible don't seem to care, don't feel they did anything wrong, and the justice system just validated that. So, like, I've been hating this country for a while now, and this certainly isn't making it any better. But frankly, it's a function of my privilege that I even get to say that I even get to consider the possibility of maybe America is not the place for me, and maybe I should move on. Well, that's not good enough, because maybe I can. You know, my husband works for an international company. I work 100% remote. There's no reason we can't move. I'm sure it would be possible for us to apply and get in to a number of alternative countries where we could have a much better life, where our daughter's education could be paid for, where our health care could be paid for, and where there's a little bit less wanton disregard for human life. But you know what? A lot of people don't have that choice. A lot of people can't make that decision. A lot of people are not as economically and socially blessed as I am. And unfortunately, a lot of them have a lot of melanin in their skin. And our leaders don't care. They don't care. They don't care. And I'm angry. And I'm frustrated. And I can't even begin to touch the level of anger and frustration that the families of these people have been going through. And I don't even know why I'm talking about this, to be honest. I mean, my videos are supposed to be about weight loss, and I don't even know, there's probably some of you on here that are offended just by my shirt. And by the way, if you are, don't comment, just go. Just move on. We don't need to have that conversation. You and I are over. That's all. If you're offended by a t-shirt that says that Black Lives Matter, then you are not a part of my... We can't relate. We can't relate to each other. I'm sorry, we can't. But anyway, I'm just so angry and upset tonight, and I don't know how to wrap this up, because it's occurring to me that I'm doing all the things I'm not supposed to do. I'm talking out about something that I don't have intimate knowledge of, right? Because nobody does, by the way. As the governor of the state of Kentucky pointed out, the grand jury and the prosecutors and the defending attorneys were all tasked with reviewing quote-unquote evidence and statements and testimonials that have not been made public. And they're not under any obligation to make any of them public. So we might never know if, the whole grand jury just sat around drinking some mint juleps and saying, fuck her, she's just black, who cares? We don't know. I realize that is a crass allegation to make, but we don't know. And I do not put it beyond the privileged people of this world, in this country, to do something like that. I really don't. And I guess that tells you what I think. And I don't know that it's welcome. And if you didn't want to hear it, then I hope you stop to the video. I'll put I'll figure out how to put the links in the bottom so that you can tell when to stop the video if you don't want to hear my diatribe on this. But yeah, this is the kind of day that I really just want to give up on literally everything. And again, that's a function of my privilege too, right? I can, if I want to. Well, I hope there are more of you out there enraged as I am. I hope you don't think that it doesn't have anything to do with you because it's not your skin color. I my daughter asked me the other day, because she's hearing the news, my 5-year-old daughter said, "Is my friend Ethan going to be okay?" And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, what about his daddy?" And I said, "Why are you asking?" And she said, "Because people are hurting people who have skin like that." And my 5-year-old is asking me this. And I said, "Honey, nobody can ever make any promises that people are going to be okay. But I sure hope so." And the most important thing is that the next time you see your friend, you tell him that you love him and that he can always come to you if he needs help. My 5-year-old. This has got to stop. There's nothing more to say.